me and my friends, literally, we were the kids that were basically wrestling. Like, I remember setting up a futon in my dad's dining room. At the time, he didn't really have furniture in there, but he would let me pull a futon in there, and we would basically build a mini like ring in his dining room, and then we would wrestle. I remember the day that he said I took it too far too, because I asked him, I was like, "You care if we use real chairs?" And he was like, "Hell no. Hell no, you can't use real chairs. That is the dumbest question I have ever heard." Alright, so we are back with another Jack, part of Jack. I am wondering where I am at. Oh, I know where we left off. Alright, so I need to jump back through here. We finished. So, is there a cutscene? Nope, that's it. That's all she wrote. So now we gotta go back to Torn, our, you know, wonderful leader, and see what he wants us to do. I mean, I'm sure it's such an overly important mission, one that he only feels like he's eager to do. More than likely it's because we're the only person he has to go over to the bar now. Was stealing that the Krimzon Guard cruiser a smart idea? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't, but we weren't really paying attention to what was flying by. I just totally decided, you know, I needed a ride. I needed a ride. It was visible, and I took it. And now I'm being chased by Krimzon Guards. So, but, you know, we're really cruising through this game, though, and to be honest, I'm enjoying it a lot. I think I'm enjoying it a lot more now than I think I did as a kid. I brought this up in like one of the first episodes, and I think it's what I said isn't necessarily true. I think, like I said, I think it was mostly just my friend group growing up was this way. But you know, as I've gotten older, I could see the, you know, continuous play through games because you could find mods and challenges.
One of my old guard comrades was sent to the pumping station. There's been no word from the patrol, and after what you guys ran into out there, I'm afraid she may need some help.
Did you say she?
Don't even think about it.
Oh, is this
Stop that! This is serious, you moron.
Counterpoint to Kira?
That's right. Don't mess with the sugar.
This friend of mine has helped the underground
Honestly,
many times before.
I do
Go
kind of
back to
wonder
the pumping station and take a
Daxter
look around.
had joined the...
Render assistance if needed. Now get your squirrely out of here.
More like a weasel than a squirrel. But I wonder if like Daxter was like the main character. I'm pretty sure like it would basically feel like Red Faction in my mind. Like you'd just be destroying stuff incessantly. How do I have a Krimzon Guard? But nonetheless, you'd just be destroying stuff incessantly. Like everything would be destructible. I mean, you would bringing down the Baron would just be, let me blow up the castle. I think he's just so chaotic. He's so chaotic good that there's there's no chance that it wouldn't just be like just take him out. Just destroy everything. Who cares? He's the Johnny Silverhand of rodents, but adorable and funny. And I am so glad that he never got changed back to his elven or human or whatever. I don't know if they ever actually state what Jack's race is, but he is much better as a muskrat or a weasel than he is as an elf. Because he was a dorky looking elf. And his charm is in the fact that he's cute, so he can get away with stuff. Where I think if he went back to being an elf, he wouldn't get away with anything. And if you do know what Jack's race is, could you let me know in the comments? Because like I'm actually intrigued to find out what they decided to call these people, because they look very similar to like elves. And maybe that was actually a design choice. I don't know. We're back to the pumping station. I don't know that we can kill these things. Oh, we can. Wasn't expecting to be able to. Let's check the map real quick and see where we're actually going. Okay, so it does have a marker this time. I'm not in some chaotic loop of pain. Wait. Oh, I don't have to go that way. Perfect. I forgot that Sig blew this up. So it'll actually hypothetically make it easier to where we have to go to, right? Hopefully. Let's switch. I actually think the scatter might be more beneficial now. Who knows? It might still be trash. What is your least favorite gun in any video game? Like, I think honestly the scatter shot in this game might be my least favorite, at least the base form of it. But I would love to hear what's your least favorite gun? I mean, I've played a lot of shooter games, so for me to say that the scatter shot is my least favorite really says something. Honestly, in my opinion, the game that has the most fun guns is the old Call of Duties and well, really most Call of Duties, and then Halo 2 and Gears 2. Those have by far the best weapons in all of shooters, in my opinion. And I'm sure that people will feel differently from me, but that is definitely my opinion. And I played a lot of shooters growing up. I mean, a lot. Shooters were like pretty much what we grew up on. Yeah, it was just. I remember playing Halo when I was like 8 years old in a friend's basement. Like, there was no am I even going the right way? There was no, oh, that game's too mature. It was just understand that it's a game. Like that's like a key component of like how I was taught, is like understand it's a game. Don't try to mimic anything in real life. And to be honest, that's a fair component for my dad to tell me, given the fact that, you know, when I was a young kid, me and my friends, literally, we were the kids that were basically wrestling. Like, I remember setting up a futon in my dad's dining room. At the time, he didn't really have furniture in there, but he would let me pull a futon in there, and we would basically build a mini ring in his dining room, and then we would wrestle. I remember the day that he said I took it too far too, because I asked him, I was like, "You care if we use real chairs?" And he was like, "Hell no, you can't use real chairs. That is the dumbest question I have ever heard." And I was like, "Well, we're definitely not using real chairs. We should just go get some pillows, guys." Now, if you ever wonder, does a pillow feel like a chair? No, a pillow doesn't feel like a chair. How do I know? I have since taken a chair shot. I would not recommend it. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it doesn't feel good either. And yes, usually they, at least as far as when I took it, it was pulled back. Like, it was definitely, at least I feel like it was pulled back. There's no way I feel like they did a full swing. It felt like getting tapped with a metal chair. But wouldn't recommend it regardless. I mean, metal on skull doesn't feel great. How am I supposed to get there? I think I'm supposed to go that way, right? I totally missed it, didn't I? Totally missed the mark. Thing. Right? I feel like I'm losing my mind. Yeah, I definitely missed the mark. He's like somewhere in the swamp. And I feel like I do know who this girl is. I think I stopped before all of this, if I'm being entirely honest. I think I stopped even before we met the barmaid from Torn. But to be honest, I mean, I could have went farther. We'll find out as the game keeps progressing because I'll either remember stuff or I won't remember stuff. So it says like right here, right? Or am I losing it? No, I went too far again. All right, can I swim? Can I swim? All right.
This is a restricted area. Defenses activated. I am authorized to use force.
So don't do that. I do wish I had the minimap HUD here because I'm a little confused at where I'm supposed to be going. And the minimap feels like it would help tenfold. But we're gonna give it a try nonetheless. Is it those? It's gotta be those, because we were never able to go up there before, right? So it's gotta be that, right? There's no way it's not, right? I don't know. I feel like I'm losing it. But yeah, so, me and my friends would basically, you know, do wrestling stunts in my dad's dining room. And the funny thing is, when I was a kid, there was even a point where I had broken my wrist in football from taking on 3 guys my size. And, you know, at the time I was roughly, I don't know, like 6 foot. I'm a little bit taller than that now. And these guys are like 6'2" and 16 years old, and I was closer to 15.
Yeah, what the heck are we doing risking our lives to rescue some old Krimzon Guard hag anyway? She's probably got more facial hair than me.
Who the hell are you two?
Why does this look like Torn's little sister?
I do love a woman in uniform. Want to bark some orders at me? Woof, woof. I'm your soldier on the front lines of love. Waiter, foxhole for 2.
Keep talking and I'll raise your voice a couple of octaves.
Easy. Torn asked us to help you.
I don't need help, but you might. We've got company.
Yeah,
Here
we
they
do have
come.
company. But yeah, so I remember
Damn metalheads.
they were all a couple inches taller than I am.
Here's
and they all plowed into me at once. I was the center,
Take
and
that.
because of that, obviously, I'm going to get a lot of the heat. But when that happened,
Take them all down.
I was out for a couple weeks. But I still wrestled.
Ready for
I was able to slip out of that. Oh man. But I was able to slip out of that cast pretty easily, and because of that, you know, I was like, I'm gonna wrestle, and my friends were like, dude, your arm's broken. We don't want to wrestle you. And I was like, no, we're good. I can slip my arm out of it, so obviously the swelling's gone down. So by that reasoning, we should be fine. I should not, you know, get hurt. I didn't, surprisingly. Bad reasoning, but, you know, I didn't get hurt. And even when I brought it up to my doctor, he was like, you know,
Yeah, what the heck
I wouldn't
are
have
we doing
recommended
risking
it,
our lives
but
to rescue some old
to be
Krimzon
honest,
Guard
you're not
hag
wrong.
anyway. She's probably got more facial hair than me.
Who the hell are you two?
I never expected Daxter to be a flea flicker.
I do love a woman in uniform. Want to bark some orders at me? Woof, woof. I'm your soldier on the front lines of love. Waiter, foxhole for 2.
Keep talking and I'll raise your voice a couple of octaves.
Easy. Torn asked us to help you.
I don't need
I do
help,
remember,
but you might.
yeah, I do remember doing that. And you know, I eventually got them to kind of just go along with it. But funny enough, probably had I not learned how to do that when I was younger, I might not have been able to handle a situation that happened much later in my life that actually needed me to know how to do some holds.
Here's one for my father.
Dude, could I please have some health?
Get him off!
Yeah, dude, I don't have any health. Get him off? What do you mean get him off? Why don't you get him off? But yeah, so, and to be honest, it's an experience that still comes up in conversation, right? Not that like I go out of my way to tell people a lot, but when people talk about certain experiences they've had with like bad experiences at parties, I wouldn't say this was necessarily a bad experience at a party, but it was a bad experience for a friend of mine at a party. And,
yeah, what the heck are we doing? Risking our lives.
My cousin was kind of interested in this girl at the time, so I was like, you know,
who the hell are you
after
two?
everything went down, I was like, oh, no, Pat handled it, you know, not me.
I do love a woman in uniform. Want to bark some orders at me?
Oh, sweet.
I'm your soldier on the front lines.
But yeah, Pat figured it out, not me. Because you know, I mean, that's what you do for your friends and family when they're interested in another person,
But you might.
You know, you always try to ease it in. So
here they come.
But it was an interesting situation.
Take that.
Yeah. I learned a lot, honestly, from growing up watching wrestling. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize, like, if you learn how to do some of the holds that are actually in there, they can actually be quite useful in an actual fight. Like, I remember getting into fights in high school. And if you are in high school, do not get into fights. Like, it's not smart, it's not fun, it's not cool.
Take them all down.
Like, I remember getting into fights because people thought picking on, like, trying to fight the bigger guy was a smart idea. And what ended up happening is most of the time they ended up breaking something. And it wasn't because I hit them, it wasn't because,
Watching me take care of those metalheads was pretty exciting, wasn't it, Sugar? Hey! Sweet Stripes! Give me them digits so I can look you up sometime! We'll party hard! Big city style!
Tell Torn Baron Praxis is planning something big. I think it has to do with that symbol.
What is it?
It's the seal of the House of Mar, the founder of Haven City. We're being sent out on suicide missions to locate artifacts from the time of his rule. If curiosity's worth dying for, you can ask the blind old soothsayer in the bazaar named Onin. She might know something about all this. Here's my bazaar access security pass.
Your name's Ashelin, huh?
We're even now.
Wow! What a woman! Arrgh.
So yeah, don't get into fights, kids. I will say though, going back to that story, it was like it was Halloween. Me and my cousin were dressed up as Jay and Silent Bob. Easy why I referenced them, and you know, when we were playing this game or playing Precursors Legacy. And some, you know, probably. I think we found out he was like 16 or 17 at the time after everything was found out. But he had hit a friend of ours' car, totaled the car because he was drunk driving. And, you know, Pat kind of did lead the charge. He was like, you know, we should follow the oil stains because his car was leaking oil after he hit this girl's car, and so we followed him. We ended up finding out where he was, and when he got out of the car, he immediately started swinging. And when he started swinging, I know my cousin, and my cousin will swing back. So immediately, I just put him into a headlock, waited for the cops to show up. So, I mean, like I said, in the moment, you can really know what to do if you just take the time to learn a few tricks. Like, it doesn't take much. Prepare yourself in life, because you never know the experiences that you're going to have. So being prepared for those experiences is like one of the best pieces of advice I can offer. Because had I not been the wrestling kid in high school, and I did actually wrestle in high school too, not just you know, wrestle as in like WWE style or AEW style. I did a couple of wrestling camps when I was in high school because I originally thought they were that style, and then found out that they're amateur or Greco-Roman, and I moved on from it. I wish I hadn't at times, but to be honest, we are who we are, and regrets are never, they're not worth holding on to. But yeah, so you never know what interesting stories you can have, all because of a random situation that you never thought you'd be in. Now, what does this guy actually want?
Great warrior, I sense there is a dark rage burning within you, and in time, it will destroy you with its madness. Only the last power of the Precursors can save you. Destroy my enemies, those creatures you call the Metalheads. Bring me 25 of their skull gems, and I will teach you how to control these powers.
25 is nothing. Oh. What I wanted to do. No, get me out of Dark Jack mode. I do wish that there was a way to turn it off. That's like my one caveat to this, is like, now I'm stuck like this and I can't interact with big squiddy Precursor over here. There we go. Yo, that's pretty epic.
You do well to rid the world of this metal scourge. As a reward, I grant you a dark power.
Right. John? Oh, that's cool. Alright. Will you give me anything else? I have more.
I need more skull gems.
200? Wow. From 25 to 200 is a big leap. Is an enormous leap. Come on, come on, come on. Thanks, bro. I really needed it. I'm sure you needed it too, but I'm gonna tell you I needed just a small amount more. Woo! We ain't trying to hit nobody today.
I am the
I didn't think I had coffee today.
city. I've got suspicious activity in this sector.
Man, the coffee. That is by far my favorite Jack ride.
Sound the alarm!
And that's why we steal it the most often. Said I wasn't gonna hit anybody, I was wrong. I hit people. I'm sorry.
Help us!
You know, sometimes things happen.
Nothing
Hey!
so far.
Stop hitting me. Hey! What are we doing here? Alright, so we go this way. Go this way.
I've got suspicious activity in this sector.
I don't actually know where I'm going. Oh, there's a lightning bolt. I'm guessing that's some kind of trial run. But I'm also guessing that the bizarre thing is what
Please advise.
we
Suspect's
actually
description.
need to do. And I also feel like we've been here before. Have we been here before? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I do kind of wish that you could use the skateboard around the city, though.
Sweeping for suspect.
It's, in my opinion, so much cooler than
Patrolling sector 9.
so much cooler than the vehicles. Especially if I could grind around the city. I mean, it kind of like it mixes. It would have mixed like Grand Theft Auto and Tony Hawk's back in the day, which is like the equivalent of Epic. You already have the mechanics in the game. why not just go the extra mile and just merge them together? All right, we are at the bazaar, right?
Sweeping for suspects.
Yep, we're at the bazaar. No, I do remember this.
Cool, check out all the dead stuff.
Ow! Touch the goods again, rat boy, and you'll be counting with your toes. I am
monkey.
Pecker. Yes, I know. My mother, she was very vindictive. I am Onan's interpreter. Onan welcomes you, blah, 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 the usual boring salutations. She says it is good to see you again, Jack.
But we've never met before.
Before, after, it is all the same.
Ow, let me try. She wants a yakao bone, a yakao bladder. No, I got it. For many moons, she has waited for a juice pop, a jewel shop. Oh, I know. She's got a hair bowl, a hair lip, a hairy chest.
Close. But no! Onan says you seek answers about the Tomb of Mar.
So what do we need to know?
She's going on and on about mystical energy channels, evil curses, stupid woo crap. Forget all that! I'm gonna sum this up quickly, because now you're cutting into my siesta time. Onan wants you to recover 3 artifacts from the Precursor Mountain Temple. Not 2, not 4, 3! Use the warp gate at the northwest side of the city, and bring back the 3 items you find.
Go.
This is Unit Alpha.
Is that where we got siesta from? Because I remember people in, the early 2000s using the term siesta quite regularly as like nap time.
Nothing so far.
But then when you grow up, and it was often the idealism of that it was like some kind of variant of a Spanish nap. And then when you learn in college or in high school or whenever you decide to take Spanish, siesta doesn't mean nap. And if it does, maybe it's just the schools that I learned from just never provide that information. But I don't know. I brought it up to one of my teachers in high school.
Suspect's description.
He was a Chilean, he was Chilean in nationality, and he had said he had never heard it before. Then again, when you have friends that are Latin blood, they tell you not all words mean the same thing in every area of different South American countries, in Spain, in Central America. What you tend to find out is that, some words that are benign in one area of the world are not benign at all in another. I remember a friend of mine, or a coworker of mine at one of my old jobs, had told me that our boss used a term quite regularly that in his country was a derogatory statement, but in my boss's country, which was Colombia, it didn't mean that at all. And he was like, I have to stop myself from getting mad and nearly punching him in the face every single time he says it, because I realize that we have 2 different dialects, and for him it doesn't mean what it means to me. So I have to keep that in mind or I'll get myself in trouble. And I feel like that's the funny thing is, like, I was watching some of my favorite YouTubers, and there's a blend of English, like England, and English American speakers. And peak here, as far as I have ever heard, peak means like awesome, good, dope, cool. Peak in England apparently means bad. So like, you can see that even in English we have a dissonance in language. So I don't know, I always thought that was interesting. And picking up on the term siesta from Jack, I mean, it's pretty interesting. I'm not going to run another long one. Actually, we are just going to call it here, and I'm gonna end it with, you know, a quick question for you guys. What do you think the outcome would be if Daxter was the protagonist over Jack? Is Jack keeping Daxter in line? Because we've already seen a couple of times where Daxter gets, you know, kind of out of hand in his flirting or in his reactions to people. Do you think that things would be so much more chaotic if Daxter was the protagonist? And if you've played the game Daxter from the PSP, maybe you have more insight, maybe you have more feelings on whether he would be more chaotic, less chaotic. I don't know. Offer your theories or your factoids in the comments. And don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe for more Jack and Daxter. We'll be back in another video next week.